Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Got This in Black. Shout out my black folk out there. I love y'all, man. I hope y'all mental space is doing well. I hope your pockets are thriving. I hope you are in abundance in every aspect of your life. I wish that upon your life, and I send that energy towards you. Man, welcome back to Got This in Black. Thank you for coming back again. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, you know. And, you know, like I always say, we are here. It's your boy. It's the kid, Chukwunwike, to my left of me, and Dima to my lefter, Isang.
Lefter?
Yeah.
I like that show. Leftist. Like
and we going to get into some shit today.
Before we get into some shit.
Okay.
Where's everybody going? We're going to start with my rightist.
Let's see. Today, I got on a trucker hat from AL Studio 21. That is a brand out of PG County, so support black business. I have on a Crenshaw jersey that I actually got from the store. I went out there, I think back in 2018. Rest in peace to Nip. Shout out to the whole Crenshaw brand and all the people behind them, sending our love and just some black jeans and some ones. And I'm ready to pod. What you got on, Dima?
So, I have some Dreams of Triumph booty shorts on.
Dreams of Triumph.
Because summer is almost over, and I'm just, summer is over.
Summer is over.
Summer is over.
It's
Not
cold,
almost, it is. It's gone.
Yeah, them
really
fall
sad
mornings
about
done
it.
come through.
Yeah. So I was, I forced it a little bit. And then I have this, like, Joss A. Bank.
Joss A. Bank. Joseph A. Bank.
You don't get the whole.
That's what it's short for.
I know, but like he said, it says Joss.
You know that, man. She know him on a personal, so it's cool.
My aunt thrifted this shirt,
Bank.
and I was supposed to make it into something, but I never did. But I kind of just like it as it is.
Okay.
I respect that. I do that all the time. Do a little project, and it's like, I'll be all right.
Speaking of which, that just reminded me of something. Fellas, protect your hoodies. Protect your shorts. It's that time of the year. Like that, her wearing that shirt just reminded me of that. Protect your hoodies. Protect your shorts.
Y'all better hold on for dear life because we coming from.
Because
we come for everything.
It's klepto season. They gonna be stealing everything.
When
the
I tell
t-shirts.
y'all, bruh, I've only took like maybe 2 L's on it. I'm a guard dog with the shorts.
Good.
And the
That's
hoodies,
good.
Cause
Yeah.
like you know how y'all do, right? Your job be missing.
And they always take your best joints.
It's only the best.
It's like
I've offered the not.
Bro, you the slum joints. You be like, yo, you can take any of those, but they go to your best,
digging in the crates.
Best hoodie.
I've actually had some guys take my stuff. Okay.
That's rare. If you did that, shout out to
I
you.
had some
Come on the pod.
ass.
If you did that, if you stole that from Mandima, come on the pod. We need an interview.
Hey, hold time before
that is rare.
Before we continue, have you ever been like kicking it with you know what I'm saying a lady friend or a friend, inclusive, and you had to change. Yeah, you needed some spending night clothes. You didn't have spending night clothes, but then she gave you some basketball shorts. But you like
Nah.
Whose shorts are these?
What man shorts is these? I'm not rocking.
I'm not wearing the shorts.
I'm not rocking.
I'll go commando if I had to. I'll go.
I'm sleeping in my underwear or what? But I'm not.
Disrespectful.
I'm not. Don't like you really gonna hand me another man's
every
shorts?
day, bro.
They're my shorts.
That's what they always say. My shorts. You don't even hoop, short. You can't even. I see your jump shot.
Like Slim, these shorts go past your knees. These is not your shorts. All right.
These is a 40. That's what we talking about,
bruh.
Anyway, speaking of hoodies and shorts, I got the good NKA hoodie. Shout out to Black Owned Gift and Shop if you are a herbalist, if you know what I mean. They are located in Capitol Hill. Check them out. Those are my good people. Shout out to Britt and Hannah. On the feets, I got some slides. Billionaire Boys Club. Shout out. Pharrell, the greatest producer.
Pharrell, come on the pod.
I became a slide boy like 2 years ago, and I never looked back.
Pharrell.
And Pharrell can do no wrong in the world.
No, listen, look at me, Pharrell. Bring your ass on this podcast. I'm not playing
Please,
with you.
Uncle
Come on, Uncle P.
Not bring
Uncle
your
P.
ass.
Come on, Uncle P. Like, stop playing.
Pharrell, we would
Uncle
just
P.
love us.
Uncle
Love
P.
you.
Nah,
Grace
sometimes
us,
you gotta tuck the people like, come on, bro.
Grace us with your presence.
Uncle P, disregard my brother, man. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, Uncle
Bruh,
P,
you
would be
understand? Me
honored
and
if you-
Pharrell here. That's why we speak like that, man. Come on the pod, man.
Uncle P, I apologize. The views of Chuck don't reflect the views of me. You know what I'm saying? Virginia, you know what I'm saying? Just come. Also, slight shout out to Kathleen Kai. She not black, but she Asian. You know what I'm saying? Solidarity, I guess. For the shorts. But definitely the biggest shout out to Pharrell and to NKA right here in Washington, D.C.
Word.
So I thought I would, get a little motivational, inspirational.
Okay.
Open with this quote. This
Oh,
nice little
he
quote.
saying brought a quote today.
Right. Your
Motivational.
Turn your phones to the book of Nareasha Willis. Shout out to Nareasha.
What chapter we at, Pastor?
Take your time, Pastor.
Take your time. What
Well,
verse? You know you be in church like, what verse he say?
I know you flipping too. Somebody beside you got the little color coded just.
I be lost in church because I don't got them. I don't got them books memorized. I be going to the front real quick, the cheat sheet. Like, all right, page 13, 17.
Bro,
Okay,
when
then
I
go
was
from
little,
there.
I would forget the Bible religiously. The only thing I did religiously was forget the Bible. And somebody beside me would be like. So Nareasha Willis, for y'all that don't know, she popularized a few years back clothing line. Her clothing line is called Avenue, dope clothing line, mostly women's clothes, amazing clothing line. Check that out. Their IG is @shopavnu, and she originally popularized the phrase "Ghetto Until Proven Fashionable" on clothes. She has some really dope button-ups, some tees, hoodies. And she did an interview with Teen Vogue, and I just wanted to highlight a very important quote. So she said, with regards to the concept of ghetto until proven fashionable, which of course refers to the co-opting of our cultural identity on runways and in fashion by non-black entities. She said respect and paying homage to other cultures by including their models in the representation of their culture is necessary. Overall, I think it's offensive for another person of a different ethnicity to imitate another race as if there are not gorgeous women who can fulfill that role on the cover of a magazine or on a runway. She said, in the future, let's start with now. Can't be fixated on the future. I live in the present. So, let's get further into this topic. Let's.
Well, I guess what are the first thoughts that come to mind when you hear the phrase "ghetto until proven fashionable"?
I think the things I think about are the ways that we are subjected in society to different stereotypes
or even just different standards.
Different
of everything.
standards, right? Based on appearance, but the appearance is literally comprised of elements of our culture. It's like we're not entitled to the benefits and the celebration of our own culture, but others are, right? Personally, obviously, as somebody with locks, I think that's one of the biggest things that irks my nerves, right? Is you see that when it's us, it's like, oh, are you people try to be funny, are you a Rastafarian, or your hair is, or it's a dirty look or whatever, right? But then you'll see somebody like Marc Jacobs send a bunch of skinny white women down the runway looking like the ghosts from the Matrix 2, and we're supposed to accept it. It's because it's fashion,
right?
Exactly. But we, in many circumstances, can't even walk into a store that sells Marc Jacobs clothing without being looked at funny or followed around if our hair is the exact
code
same
name
way.
Serena.
Right, exactly. And so in addition to that, you also have had obviously the super prominent attempts at appropriating or recharacterizing other things like cornrows, boxer braids, right? That's like a Kardashian term, I think. Who gave you the permission to
exactly
rename cornrows?
Like the dog?
Yeah, what does that even mean? Are you talking about boxers, the sport? Why boxer braids, and why did you have to change cornrows, right?
Exactly.
Why do we have to, witness Kylie Jenner in a durag or something for it to be acceptable, a social norm, right? So I think those are things that are highly prevalent in fashion. Everybody wants the rhythm without the blues. We suffer through all types of like prejudice.
I had to pick up that gem you just dropped.
Okay, appreciate that.
Don't leave that on the floor. Don't
Tuck
leave
that
that.
in.
Right, so it's like why are we subjected to like all of these things, and they're not? And on top of everything, like y'all actually oftentimes do look the fuck ridiculous, right?
That's the worst part.
Because
It's not.
a lot of this is rooted in something. It's not a look. It's not like a fast fashion that you can digest and spit back out.
Art
like it's
versus culture.
Exactly.
And this isn't even really art. Like I shouldn't even
it's
like give it that
it's
title.
not art. It's imitation versus culture. But the bigger thing that it is is appropriation, right?
Yeah.
And the clapback from the other side is usually like, oh, black women wear weaves and they straighten their hair. That's appropriating our culture. We don't say anything. You guys don't have blonde hair. Let me tell you something, y'all. That's not appropriation. That's assimilation, and that's a completely different thing. If you don't understand why that's a different thing, let me paint a picture for y'all. Assume that back in the 1400s, some ships sailed out of the western coast of Africa and went somewhere to Europe, snatched up a bunch of white people, enslaved them for, a couple hundred years. After the enslavement, there was a form of like systemic oppression that kept white people basically still enslaved in different forms, in more palatable forms on the continent of Africa, away from all of their culture, bland as it may be. They then, in order to fit in society, had to wear cornrows, had to wear locks, had to adopt African culture in order to fit into society, not by choice, but because the other option was to be further outcast than they already were. That is what happens for us. That's not a choice. That's a factor of assimilation.
It's a survival tactic. Honestly.
Right. It's a survival tactic. Now, does that mean that people don't now make the choice to wear straight hairstyles? Of course, people have that choice now, right? But historically, that wasn't it. Historically, there's a reason why there's a negative connotation around the word nappy hair. These are things that were used against us to somehow insinuate that the way we naturally look makes us inferior. But now it's being used to sell clothes and sell clothes to us sometimes, right? So,
and you can see it in the resurgence of black hair culture during the Black Power movement.
Facts.
Like there's a reason
Facts.
why, because people were realizing, we did this to assimilate. My way of going against and actually like revolting against what is being put on me is to just be myself.
Absolutely.
To wear my hair the way it grows out of my head.
Absolutely.
It's just crazy, like, that being ourselves, like, just naturally is offensive to other people.
It's fake offensive. It's fear.
It's definitely fear. And I just think, like, it's just sad that, like, basically everything we do has to be, like, repalated so that it could be fed to white people, basically.
We
like,
gotta have a
that's,
law.
That's really what Ghetto Until
Get
Proven Fashionable is. It's like, okay, how can we sell this to white people? Okay, we have to put it on a white model, or we might have to change it up and do different things and stuff. And the worst thing is, like, they got that. It's like Christopher Columbus syndrome. It's like when they find stuff in the black community that we're doing, they take it and try to rename it and act like they invented it.
They discovered it or something. They invented it.
Right.
That's the most annoying part of it. It's like,
obscene.
bro, like, Slim, we've been on that. Like, call a spade a spade. Like, we are the originators. We are the original people. We are the original creators. Like, we are the chefs. We make the sauce in the kitchen. We just do everything. And then you guys come and you try to make a little cookbook with the ingredient stuff, and it don't sit well. It's like Trader Joe's trying to make that spicy jollof thing.
It's the jollof. That's exactly what it is.
Y'all tried
that?
I saw a Nigerian influencer try it. She said that joint was bland.
I saw a
as
lady
hell.
feed it to her husband, and my man's reaction was terrible.
I mean, what do you expect now?
I want to try it.
Maybe we'll make a video trying it. Let's step out the box.
Might. I'm gonna let y'all do it for real.
little TikTok.
Yeah, but I think one of the things when I hear like Until Proven Fashionable, I kind of think about the Dapper Dan raid.
Right.
So Dapper Dan, obviously most people should know his story. If you don't, you need to get hip on it. But he was basically supplying all the drug dealers. He was supplying a lot of celebrities with different styles. Like he was taking the different designer fabrics and materials, basically bootlegging them. But he was just like giving people different looks and different swag and stuff like that.
24 hours. 24. The store was open 24 hours.
I just keep thinking, I'm like, yo, if Mike Tyson never snuffed that dude outside the store, he might have still been like moving. But like he had this he was the tastemaker for that time period. So with these styles, like once they raided him, closed up his shop, took everything, is like everything that he started doing started popping up in the European designers. They started making these different looks. They started doing the bolder prints. They started making logos bigger. Like every time I see a polo shirt with a huge logo, I think black people. I've never seen white people wear the polos with the big horses. Like that's like a traditionally like down south thing. Like we like to be bold. We like to be like we be wanting you to know what we wearing. Like everything like got the print on it. Everything got a sign, a logo, like and stuff like that. And like that's us. And that basically bled into European designers like right into their wheelhouse, and they started making stuff more like that. So it's like also that takes me to our Balenciaga underwear attached to sweatpants move.
How many cultures is that at one time? It's a jail culture.
Like it's been frowned upon by white people, even some in the black community as well, sagging the pants. Like that's always been looked at.
Code for the little,
for the weak ass brush spots in Texas.
Like, they attached it to jail culture. Right. They attached it to gang culture. Heathens. Like who is these thugs in their pants, not understanding that no, these is designer boxers, and I want you to see the designer. No, I got this fly ass belt buckle, and I need you to see it. That's why I'm sagging my pants. Like there's always a method to black people's madness. That quote. And so now you guys, decades later, tried to steal the sauce and put it on some dry ass, plain ass, gray sweatpants with some the underwear is literally attached to the sweats.
It's probably the one where it's like that. The line stops there, and then that's the end of the underwear.
And these joints are going for a stack.
Yeah, $1,100. Yeah, I mean that's the
it's mind-boggling to me the levels of audacity that white people reach every single day.
But do you think that anybody that buys those Balenciaga, or whatever they want to call them, is going to be subject to the same like level of respect politics that we have to go through?
Hell no.
It's just going to be like,
unless a black person does it.
Exactly. And to me that's the worst part. I could drop like $1,100 on those, right? And I'm still gonna be called ghetto.
Right, exactly.
But if Justin Bieber wears them,
my gosh, look at exactly.
I feel like they made him for Justin Bieber.
That's exactly what they made him for. My man had some moldy locks like last summer.
Yeah, they kind of got on him. He tried to use.
I remember.
Didn't he try to use religion to shield himself? I feel like he did.
I don't remember.
Sounds like a tactic I've heard.
But yeah, that's the Justin Bieber types. Yeah, they try to make it for y'all, but don't let me see you in them joints. Just like the Gelfar, you getting flamed on site. I'm cooking you. Like I'm cooking you.
Right. Pull up with some Balenci boxer sweats and a gelly bag
with the sock shoes,
with the socks or the croc heels.
Mm-hmm. The crochettos.
The game.
The crochettos.
Balenciaga made those too.
Balenciaga did make those croc
heels.
But like also I think about too, because it's like sometimes with a lot of stuff that these European designers wear, they're not actually want people wearing them. They're going for shock value. Like there's a thing like trauma marketed, where they're trying to basically profit off black people trauma, because they know if black people see something like that, we're gonna be like, we're gonna call the stuff out. Right. But they're like, it's what they say, all press is good.
It's a hype machine.
So they don't care. They just want Balenciaga. They want the clicks. They want the SEO and stuff like that as well too, because it's like, they made those, but it's like, you might not really see those. Like, they might be in like a store and it might be 2 of them, but it's like they didn't really mass produce them joints. They wanted the shock factor. They wanted to talk about it.
Culture to a gimmick.
Exactly.
And you have some black people spooning it in and cooning it in, like Kanye. My man went head to toe Balenciaga in the midst of it.
Yeah.
So is his white wife.
Hide your face. I hide my face.
Yo. I want to talk about the outfit.
Bro.
So the other thing I want to talk, because we're talking about fashion. This is a fashion podcast. Absolutely. But I've mentioned before, like, I love beauty, skincare, all that stuff.
Absolutely.
I mean, and they go hand in hand.
They do. It does go hand in hand. That's part of fashion. It does go hand in hand. And, you know, this trend, it's not a trend, because as my father mentioned to me earlier, people have been appropriating culture for ages.
Yeah, facts.
That might be the only thing white people invented.
Appropriation. I hope that's the answer.
I've been thinking, because every time I see an invention, I'm like, I feel like a black person did that and a white person just, like, that's just my default mindset.
That's often the case.
And it's often the case. But then it's like, when it comes to appropriation, nah, you guys got
the pioneers.
But sorry, continue, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. It just popped into my head. I apologize.
But, you know, I just cannot count the amount of times that I've seen a 14-year-old white girl with some long, what in the back of the day was ghetto nails. I'm just like, what is happening here? What is happening here? Lip fillers, butt implants, all of this stuff. Like, all of it is taken from our culture. Like, it's just, that's what it is. Not even our culture, our appearance.
Natural appearance.
Like, this naturally how, you know, we come out the womb with some luscious.
That was looked at as ugly by society before. They wanted the thin lipped, skinny women. Look at all them runways in the 90s.
That time period, yes, the 90s, when literally, like, everyone was real thin, skinny. Like, even
black women. It was an insult to tell a white woman she had a big ass.
Yeah, you
now they love it. Now they love it.
You did not want to have a big ass.
Yeah.
You did not. That was not the wave back then. Like, I was looking at these old pictures of Beyonce and Kelly Rowland. I was like, everyone was like very thin,
slim and trim.
Yeah, and I'm sure that there was probably a lot of pressure put on them to be that thin, because that was what everyone was aspiring to.
That was a vibe
during that time period. But now it's just totally different. Like, and I know a lot of people equate like this fad with the big ass to Kim Kardashian, when, you know, Nicki actually was the originator.
Yeah, for sure.
In my book, at least the person who we knew of, who kind of popularized it and made it this big thing.
Of course.
And within the black community, we were talking about Nicki, you know, and then once Kim did it, everyone was talking about Kim and her whole entire family for doing it. And now what I feel like IG model influencer on the West Coast
got the same
and everywhere
shape.
else, everyone's starting to look the same.
Went to the same doctor in the same country on the same street in the same house.
Yep.
And let me just say, when you naturally got it, there is some variation. There is definitely some variation.
And we appreciate that variation.
Yeah, people have been appreciating that variation. So it's very interesting to me. And then also to just think back about, you know, Sarah Bartman,
Facts.
who, you know, in Europe, they were putting her on the stage.
Facts.
And she had a show where people were just looking at her, staring at her, ogling at her, because
human zoos.
Like it was a zoo. Yeah.
Exactly how she naturally was.
Yeah.
You know, put on display and treated like a piece, because this was after they had abolished slavery.
Yeah.
In the UK.
Yeah, I was about to. Thank you, because I was like,
right.
So
Clearly
me
not
and her, like,
actually abolished because she right there.
This was her job.
Right.
to be ogled at and for people to just like, you know, put her on display.
Yeah.
You know, they called her Hottentot,
Yeah.
which was a derogatory term used to talk about the Kai, I'm going to get the name wrong, but the people in South Africa, I think it's like the Kai and the Sokai, they put it together. It's like now, so I'm not getting the name right. We'll put that in the captions, okay?
We'll do the Googles. Y'all gonna get this history and do the Googles.
Put some respect
I beg, do your Googles,
respect
please.
on the tribe, okay? You know, because
Do
I
your
want people to put
Googles.
respect on my tribe, okay?
Right.
But yeah, like to think that to go from that to where we are now, it's wild to me. It's wild to me, like that history of it. And then of course, the one thing that we've already mentioned it, but we gotta talk about it some more, is just hair.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, like why everyone has baby hairs now? Right. Everybody.
I literally don't know what it looks like. I can't even picture, right? Like a little Scandinavian head ass in the mirror with the toothbrush on the. I can't even picture it.
No, it don't make sense.
You look like your family owned IKEA, but you brushing baby hairs and gelling your baby hairs. When did that become a thing? When? Like, when did that actually start? But like, white women popping up with the baby hairs is like a relatively. That's like the last 3-4 years type of
cringy, dog.
That's a recent thing, and they be doing some wild things on the baby hairs too. I'm just like, this is too much.
It's a lot, man.
What's happening
But
here?
that's what happens when you know, when you're not from it. You trying to like. Sometimes you try to go over the top to fit in. When
you lack understanding.
Exactly.
You lack connection to the actual thing that you're trying to imitate.
It's a natural little, like, you know, but they be doing all that crazy.
And you also lack the impetus for the creativity, bro. Like, y'all didn't have to dye your hair with Kool-Aid packets. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's like we really got it out the mud and still made something better than what y'all made with all of the access and privilege you had in the first place. And you can't replicate that. Mm-mm. But it's like you said, like, they invented appropriation. So we get demonized for being extremely fashionable and extremely creative and having a deep and rich culture and making our own culture after they took our original culture from us. We get demonized for doing that, which is a superhuman feat in and of itself. Mm-hmm. But then they make a cheap, great value version of what we did, and it's like, oh my God, tastemaker, boxer braids,
exactly.
$1,200 for a durag. Like, I don't get it. Mm-hmm.
What I really want to talk about, I know you say you didn't want to talk about it, but like,
cool.
How many times can someone say to you, that's not your culture, that's appropriation, and you still continue to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and you know you're going to get roasted for it.
Right.
You know you are. So why do you continue to do it? It really baffles me. Like I really don't understand it.
It's the privilege of it. It's like them getting called out. What is that really going to do for them? Yeah. At the end of the day,
the power dynamic doesn't exist for us calling them out to have the same effect as them, you know, pushing back against us.
Right.
We can be called ghetto in society. We can become outcasts or demeaned. We can call them ghetto, and the worst that can happen is someone has to give a public apology, and it'll really ruin their day for a second. That's it.
I think the thing is like they'll always come back and be accepted by their community.
Of course.
Like I remember that time period where like Justin Bieber was kind of like doing some wild stuff, and he was around Little Twist, and they basically blamed everything on Little Twist. Justin Bieber kind of disappeared for a little bit, came back with this new like clean image, and everybody's like, "Oh, come back, Justin." It was all Little Twist. Like we know.
Bieber, Timberlake, you know what I mean? There's different standards for them than for us. How did Justin Timberlake, you know what I'm saying, expose Janet Jackson titty and she got the flack,
right?
And he didn't, but he's the one that did it.
Exactly.
Right.
They will always go back and be accepted to their community. Like it's easy for them. They're the majority.
Janet Jackson, come on the pot.
That's why they keep doing it. Yeah, but it's just just like you said, the Justins. They have that ability.
the Justins.
The Justins.
That's
man.
like the blanket term.
Basically, they have that privilege privilege and ability. It's like when you see like a white girl with like, you know, her hair dyed, it's like cool and edgy, but a black girl with her hair dyed is ghetto. Like I just think of like Sha'Carri with her hair and her nails, and I'm sure everybody was like, oh, why she wearing that? Why her nails so long? She running track.
Billie Eilish wear it, she gets her own Jordan sneaker. Like,
child, Billie Eilish, all she has is long nails and her hair is dyed all the time. That's like her look. That's how she came into the marketplace.
She came into the marketplace off of TLC's brand, or like off of a lot of people's brand. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of black women that have been doing that forever. It's not innovative or new, but again, it's ghetto until proven fashionable. You know what I mean? Even black celebrities and stars who blew up with that style have not received the instant acclaim for being so original and creative as a white woman who wore things that black people have been wearing forever. And that's not to say that she even is aware that she's appropriating. That's not me forgiving her. That's me saying how ubiquitous and commonplace it is within that community, that it's not even a thing. It's just a way of life. It's like breathing. You know what I mean? It's like breathing. It's like how you explain to a fish what water is.
That's true.
It's all around. You know, all that's happening is them stealing shit from other cultures.
Right.
So it's unfortunate for us, but that's why we always have to like keep in mind, like, you know what I mean? What Jay say? If you did it, I done it before. You get it, I had it, got mad at it, and don't want it no more. Like, we have to know when to not want it no more.
Right.
Oh, y'all about to take it wrong with it? That's not even cool no more. Because one thing we always have the control of is what's cool.
Yeah.
We can make something uncool immediately.
It reminds me of that episode of The Office when Dwight was like, this is how you sell to white people. It's like you get black people to do it, you get white people to start doing it, and then you get black people to stop doing it. And that's how you sell it to white people.
Yo, that's funny.
And that, like, it was kind of scary how honest that joint was.
I'm so done with Dwight. This is the second Dwight quote on the pod.
Hey.
I mean, The Office is one of them goat shows, dog. Like,
Jim.
Beats Bears and Battlestar Galactica, boy. Shoot Farms. You feel me? I like Dwight.
I
He
love
keeps it
Dwight.
funky.
He keeps it real.
He don't appropriate nothing. My man a pure white man.
the purest of the pure, boy.
He works on a farm. He's like a Amish office worker. Right? My man color palette is pale yellow and tan.
Basically. Them glasses kill me, dog.
Dwight.
Dwight standing in his white man swag forever. Nah, that's what we need, more Dwights in the world and less Justins.
Yes. Yeah, but yeah. Their privilege allows them to profit, but we get penalized for the same stuff. So it's just, that's kind of how society is and built, and it's unfortunate, but that's why we keep needing to have community, because if we can continue to patronize our own and put money on our pocket and make the black dollar circulate in the community more, we don't have to worry about Ghetto Until Proven Fashionable. That's because people can make livings off of what black people spend. We could continue to monetize in our own community, and we can be fine. So I think that's one of the keys to getting there is more community. So it's like black people can be themselves, be accepted as themselves, go to work in themselves, work in black environments, eat in black environments, make money in black environments. Absolutely. And we can literally always be ourselves and have the money continue to flow in and out.
More black beauty supplies.
Facts.
And like, I want a black beauty, like, there need to be black beauty supply stores everywhere.
Absolutely.
It needs
the
to.
The amount of time I spend in that place.
There's actually a and this is way deep down the rabbit hole, and we could do a whole pod on this, but there's actually a lot of collusion between the folks that do own the beauty supply shops in black areas and the suppliers, to where they have enough of the market where they can say, don't sell to black owners at the rates that you sell to us. So it's actually extremely difficult in many cases for black owned beauty supply shops to make the profits that, you know, white owned or European or Asian owned shops can make, because they've been cut out of their own market, even though the people who shop there are black.
And it's literally because it's Asian owned, and the sourcing is Asian countries. Like, everything comes from that area, mainly China. So
it's easy to cut.
It's like out. They take care of their own. They're Asian, they're Chinese first, so they're gonna look out for their people first and sell to them, so they can continue the pipeline. So that's why I hope one day, and I know this is probably like grandiose, we can start getting sourcing from more black countries for beauty supply, for clothing. Like, imagine if Pierre Moss could be made in Haiti. Like, imagine if, you know, Ising, when we were talking pre-production, told me I didn't know Christian Louboutin was black.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm late, I'm hip, y'all can clown me for whatever, but it's like, imagine if that was made in Nigeria. Imagine if Fear God can go be made in Ghana and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Like, and literally make the pipeline so black that literally the source is even black. Like, that would be fire.
Yeah, and I think these things are possible. Shout out to River as well, a logo brand. I know some of their stuff is made in Nigeria.
Okay.
And also another element of this is collaboration, right? I was really happy to see Union and Fear of God drop the collaboration. That made me happy just to see two brands who are doing their own thing, killing it in their respective lanes. Retail and actually like just a pure fashion line collaborating, rather than having to do a collaboration with like a known European or white brand. Like two black brands collaborate. I'm looking forward to seeing like that happen more and more often. And Union's good for that too. Union often collaborates with not just other brands, but like creatives, models, in their campaigns. And so I think it's really dope that Union is like ahead of the curve with that collaborative nature, because the more we work together, like Chuck was saying, the less we become reliant on anyone outside of our community, the longer the dollar stays within our community. And there's some communities that are really good at that, but I'm not holding us up to them as a standard, right? Because there's not equity enough for me to make that comparison. That's super unfair. So I'm just proud of like how we're moving right now, because that's an accomplishment in and of itself. Our hurdle is 300 feet tall, and their hurdle in the basement. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So we're making the steps, and it seems far away, but like yesterday, today seemed far away. You feel me? Like every step we make is extremely important. Like that's another thing we have to keep in mind, is like to be proud of like where we're at.
Celebrate the little accomplishments. Absolutely. Focus on the next step. Like when you climb in a staircase, you don't look at the top. Just focus on the next step. Sure. Soon you'll be at the top. So
and there's a lot that's happening in every single industry. Like I just love seeing what's happening like in the tech world. Like
facts.
My cousin's in school, he's studying engineering. He's like part of HBCU venture capitalist clubs.
Okay.
Like this next generation, I'm just so excited to see what they do. And they don't see barriers. They're just like, and what? I'm going to do it.
And I'm glad. And that's what it's supposed to be. Every generation is supposed to take the baton and take it further.
Right.
So, yeah. I think another thing, just speaking of that, I kind of love that black designers are just basically, we're reclaiming our blackness basically. Yeah. Like I love Atira Lyons, how she has that the Durag store on like Melrose. Like that's one of the most fire things ever. Like one of the blackest products in the black community on a like high end street out there. Like that's what we need more of. We need more of the Pierre Moss doing the couture show when they were talking about the black inventors and the things that we invented like that. We need more black designers, continue to reclaim our blackness and just ownership and take control of it. Like
I'm ready for the Telfar weed and cocoa butter.
Oh yes.
I'm definitely ready for that. I'm gonna have 2 or 3 of them.
I'm ready.
Yeah, weed and cocoa butter cologne.
So reclaim that.
Right. I'm gonna smell delightful.
Yeah, and I mean that's literally key. Just reclaiming everything that was ours. Like Maxine Waters, reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time. Like we need to reclaim everything.
Auntie Maxine.
Like,
shout out Auntie Maxine.
Shout out Auntie Maxine.
All right, here's a really important question.
Okay.
It's like super, super, super important. Hot or not?
Okay.
Hot or not? White people in Durags for any reason whatsoever. Is there ever a reason why white people should have Durags on? Like, I need to know. And this is not even like I'm assuming the answer is no. I'm trying to benefit of the doubt it. Like, which white person should have a Durag on? Is there any?
The answer for me is none of them, because it was a black product designed for black hair, and we know black hair textures are completely different. So what is it doing on your head?
I don't know I never know what it's doing, but I see it frequently.
Like the actual function of it is not doing anything on your head. So why are you wearing it? And then it's like, I guess you're wearing it. Are you trying to appropriate? Or like, are you paying homage. Like, I don't know. I don't want to see a white person in a do-rag. Like, I just don't. Like,
what's the difference between homage and appropriation?
I think the difference between homage and appreciation is when homage is when you kind of know the source, where they're getting it from, and they clearly state. Like, I think the biggest homage thing is, I remember this image so vividly, and depending on your age, you might not have seen it, but like, this was when Allen Iverson playing, and there's this picture of this little white kid, and he has on like the Iverson jersey, has on the answer finger waves, and all his body is marked up with like magic marker, but he's trying to imitate Allen Iverson's tattoos. That is homage. Most of the stuff in fashion is appropriation. And I think that's the difference. You knowing the source, you stating out, you giving credit, and you educating people as well too, because what's going to happen in the white communities when you're doing things that have been done by black people, most white people have not seen it before. So they're going to assume that you have created and invented this style. You have to say, no, this is where I got it from, so they can go back to the source and see the authenticity, because it's like, no matter how much you want to mimic, how much you want to pay homage, at the end of the day, it's never going to be the same as the original. Like, retros will never be the same as that first Jordan that came out. There's just something different. The quality in the leather, how it feels on the foot. So yeah, it might look the same, but once you put on that original, you know that those retros are not the same thing. So that's why it's always important to point back to the source. So that's the difference between me for homage and appropriation, is that source, giving credit back to that source, and we are the source.
I would argue that there are some like cultural things that you just cannot pay homage to by physically putting it on your body. Like, I would, and the example I have is the Real Housewives episode where Kenya decides to wear like a Native American.
You would take it to the Real Housewives, bro. You would take it straight.
But I'm saying, this is why we need Dima. Like,
it is.
We need it. She decides to wear a Native American garb. Well, that's what you want to call it.
Anytime somebody say garb,
she didn't want to say
garb
it was
is
a
like the
costume.
number one appropriator word. You're appropriator when you call it garb.
That's a costume. You got that costume from, I mean, I'm sure it's like a high-end like place you got it from, but that's a costume. And everyone was like kind of, calling her out about it, and like Bravo didn't even show it.
Oh, they didn't show the garment at all. They wanted to smoke.
They didn't even show it.
Yeah.
And, she issued an apology like, probably after the filming.
And garb is the trigger word, bruh.
And what you said, that's how I feel about white people in do-rags. I'm sorry. There's not enough homage you can pay. Like, I just never want to see you in
this.
You
just don't need to.
Send them
like,
to Atira.
There are other ways to pay homage.
Absolutely.
There, you can educate yourself about, Native American history in the United States. You can donate. You can protest. There are a lot of other ways that you can pay homage. Rather than having to like wear that clothing, because that's just a selfish thing. You're doing that for yourself. That's who you're doing it for.
And you're hiding it in homage, but really you ain't done no research on the culture. You don't know nothing about them as a people, as a society, their foods, their traditions, nothing like that. You just saw that what they're wearing look cool. Oh, I want to wear that.
And that's selfish.
It's a fact.
Because there are a lot of things that we can wear. There are a lot of options.
It's a fact.
And then it's entitlement. So I was like, okay, Kenya. And Kenya was like, oh, I got it. Yeah, we know. But you cannot be wearing somebody's culture as a costume.
No.
Facts.
Even if it's a costume outside of Halloween, you're still wearing it as a costume.
Yeah, that's facts. Don't do that.
It's like them.
That's a no.
The braided wigs in the Como de Garçon show. Like,
Ray, why did you let that happen? I banged with you, but that was kind of crazy. And then it was like, oh, the inspiration was Egyptian. That's still African. Are you smoking dope?
That's a whole nother conversation in itself, why certain people feel like Egyptian is not African. It's almost like it's worldly or something because it's Egyptian.
I'm going to keep it a stack. Some of those people are Egyptian themselves, but that's a different conversation.
Let's close that door.
You're right.
Door number one.
Yeah, because that's really
throw away the key.
Nah, it's facts though. It's facts. Shout out to Egypt. was just there. I love it. It's a great place. But some people there also separate Egyptian from African. Some don't as well. So, but it was interesting to, you know, experience that. You know, and shout out to, you know, Kenya. We don't want, you know, feel like we disparaging queens on this show.
I like you, Kenya.
And
sometimes when you know, when you're nice.
And
There's
shout
Sour
out
Patch
to
Kenya.
Also shout out to BBLs. We not.
My
Chuck can speak for himself. You feel me? Me personally, you know, I can't tell. You know what I'm saying, shawty? So it's real to me, shawty. It's real to me.
She bought it, so it's hers.
It's yours, girl. It's yours. Hey, salute you. You know what I mean?
Man, all I want y'all to do is be safe, because that's a dangerous procedure. Like, I think they said it's
absolutely
like
be
top
safe.
5 most dangerous
It is
procedures.
dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely be safe.
So that's the only thing with me.
Be safe, you know what I'm saying?
Be safe out there, though.
Yeah, be safe, but like, you know, I'm with you in solidarity. You feel me? Like,
so yeah, no more braided wigs on the runway.
nah.
No more fake baby hairs on the runway.
Please
Givenchy.
Please don't.
No more faux locks.
Please don't.
Marc Jacobs.
Please don't.
The rest of you, like like you could probably Google and just see all the nonsense. Those are just a couple things that I
It's
saw.
crazy. If I see another
Stop.
church
Stop.
choir, dog. If y'all don't leave Kirby's drip alone, dog. Don't put no more church choirs in your runway shows, dog. Let that man rock. Okay,
Exactly.
You're not him. You can't do it. You cannot.
Like, y'all churches don't be going up like that.
Been to
Like,
y'all
like
churches.
your choirs don't be going
y'all
up
had
like that.
Y'all had a nigga with a recorder flute and a like one acoustic guitar. Y'all never seen a church choir like that.
Nope.
I like that music. It's just very like.
Which music you like?
You like the recorder flute?
You like the recorder flute? I mean, I'm not hating.
And the guitar, the acoustic guitar.
I mean, do you? But I'm just saying, it's like it's
Peter,
like
Paul, and Mary had ass. Ain't nobody trying to listen to a plastic flute.
all I'm saying is be authentic to you. So bring that recorder flute to your runway, not the band, like not the swaggy choir
And
that's
we're
hitting
gonna
the
be out
notes
this
and
joint
stuff
like
like
Lizzo on the next episode. Like Ron Burgundy out this
that.
joint.
Ron Burgundy.
Hey, I respect it. Bring the recorder. If we don't get Andy my recorder flute,
We gonna have to.
Can I say one thing? Mm-hmm. So, I will say that Adriana Lima's wig quality is the same wig quality as every Tyler Perry movie. So
why did you like? Andy had that on her heart, dog. Yeah, that was on your heart. I don't know where it came from, but I'm assuming it's your soul because that just spilled out
just
of your
like-
it's a
I'm just
testimony.
wondering. So
Like, and she even had something to get off her chest.
Bruh, go ahead, go off, sis.
did she was like, okay, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna just have this wig and some baby hair, and you know, or her stylist. I don't know, whoever the person was. Did they then go and watch a Tyler Perry movie and say, oh, like that's who I'm gonna call to figure out where to get this wig? Because I wouldn't know where to get it otherwise. You don't know where to get it from. Didn't know where to get it from.
She got the
Is
plug
that-
from Tyler
Is
Perry.
that how it happened?
Spitting hot fire right now.
Was
Wait,
she
who
just-
is this? Is this Shorty from 3LW?
No, Adriana. She's am I saying her name wrong? She's a Brazilian model.
Oh, who's the 3LW Shorty?
That's Adrian.
Oh, Adrian.
something.
Is she the Promethe?
Was that her?
Is
Yeah,
that
I think that might have been her on there.
The song.
Yeah.
Promethe.
Oh.
She had the wild lisp, but nobody told her in the
I like
studio.
Adrian.
Was it her or Notori that had the
Yeah,
list?
she's
No,
good.
Notori had a lisp.
Okay. Yeah,
Shout
maybe
out
it was
Notori.
Adrian.
Notori. Come on the pod, Notori. I've seen that Biggie movie.
Hey, go ahead. Go ahead.
I guess y'all haven't seen the Tyler Perry wigs.
I have. Them joints.
I know, I've seen
They
Tyler
hide
Perry
microphones
quality
in them
wigs.
joints. That's
Yeah.
how crazy they are.
They look like helmets.
Yeah, I know what you talking about. I just didn't know that was you was about
Them
to
joints-
come at Shorty.
Them joints slip on like a fedora. Like, them joints terrible.
It don't got a size like a new era.
They be having
7 3/8.
having the dudes.
Why
looking
wouldn't she just
crazy,
use her
having
own
the chicks
wig?
looking
Her own
crazy.
hair, I mean. I'm confused. I'm just confused.
You wanted to keep like the little gold sticker inside, like you do with the fitted cap.
Oh my God.
Like,
I never got to get into the wig business.
Like shit. That short as hell.
She could have called Kim for some wigs, at least, you know. The OG appropriator. Let's call Kim. I'm sure they're friends. I'm sorry, I'll let this go.
It's okay. No,
I mean, I definitely feel that because them Tyler Perry wigs be.
Tyler
I'm gonna pull up
Perry.
her wig again and look at it.
Tyler Perry don't come on the pod.
Look like it was about to live.
I do have a gripe with that since we talk about it. Tyler Perry, why can't he get with like, you know, Auntie Ruth or some like legendary costume designer? You feel me?
Auntie Ruth.
No, I love her. She's a genius. Yeah.
I'm not
Like
gonna
I feel like I feel like
her.
she's like the culture's auntie. Like she's a like, you know what I mean? She's like
Yes.
a matriarch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
she like why can't he get with someone like that? I feel like his costume design is in and of itself a disservice to the culture. Like my man had Shamar Moore in a like a lace front cornrow joint that looked crazy.
The helmet.
That was how Adriana's hair was looking.
The helmet. Man,
helmet.
you gonna have to ask Tyler because I don't even want to start speculating. I'm not understanding.
I have
like,
a lot of thoughts, but you know, he's the kind of person where I just like, you know, there's some good and there's some bad, some good and some bad.
And
Good.
the
Yeah,
wigs
they
is
said the
definitely
same.
the
They said the
bad.
same thing about crack when it came out. So, look,
Wow.
who's done worse to the black community? Don't know. So I'm a Spike Lee fan anyway.
What's wrong with you?
I'm just asking questions like for the.
Hey, I told you we was ready to pod, dog.
For the audience to answer. I'm asking questions for the audience to answer. I'm just saying, like, I want y'all to let me know, Tyler Perry or crack. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I'm ready to, that's my points for the day.
You got everything off your
Wrap
chest.
it up, yeah. I knew we was having like a session. Once you came with the wigs, I was like, yeah, I got some Tyler slander on my heart too.
Yeah, gave him that right opportunity.
Right hook.
Well, we've done the hot or not, which wasn't really a hot or not. So let's actually
It
do
was
a
a
hot
not,
or
it was
not.
a not or no.
Yeah, there are no options there. Just one.
Hope y'all listening, white folks. I know you are.
So, you got a hot or not for us, Easton?
Nah, that was it. I wanted them to know that it's never hot. That's it. I know y'all watching because you want the fits. Don't steal the fits. Steal that info. It's never hot to wear the durag.
Okay. Well, I have something. I feel like it came up in our pre-pod discussion, so we're gonna do it. Hot or not, Timberlands.
Let me if you good in like meme culture, Black Twitter, you know what's happening right now. I'm warming these up so I can be like, boy, a Timberland construction boot is not it, bruh. I understand the legacy. I understand all the Yobis out there is gonna be in their feelings. And what is a Yobi? It's the people that be like, Yo, B, what up, son? All of y'all.
My
You
side.
that nickname. Wow. Okay.
It jumped out of her.
I'm gonna need some water.
It jumped out of her. It jumped right out your body.
And Dima like them tri-state.
And Dima like that
tri-state
I do
makers.
pull-ups on the light post.
The Tims with the shorts. That's
the
what
G with the Jordans.
That's what.
The Tims with the Jordans.
And Dima want Jada Kiss basically. That's what. She's saying.
Nah, shout out Jadakiss. He a legend though.
Oh no, he's definitely a legend.
But Tims, to me personally, you know what I mean? I respect the tradition of taking something and making it dope, right? Culturally iconic. However, me, myself, personally, you're not going to catch me out here looking like I just did a 6-3 on the construction site.
6-3.
I'm not interested in where, I don't care if it's double sole, single sole, Timberland Pro with the gear icon on the O. It's all trash, bro. I'm not a construction worker, and I don't wish to appear as a construction worker. And that's not disrespect to construction workers because I've worked construction, and I wore Timbs to do that job. And after work, you know what I did? I took a shower and put on regular shoes. I don't think they're fashionable. Some people say like, oh, it's because people lace them too tight. They be looking whack. I also
You
don't
like the color Tims?
So
Like
if you're unfamiliar with
gray,
DC
like-
terminology, Obama, right? The color Timbs, Andiva.
Yeah, I don't know about
like
them.
this.
Hey,
If I
that,
had to accept regular Timbs, I can. But like the color Timbs, that's like color contact.
I
I
mean,
like this. This is like, you know,
What?
Steve.
Who got on the color Timbs?
This guy.
That's Absol. Case closed. If Absol is your fashion icon,
I'm not saying he's a fat. I like this interpretation.
Bro,
okay. Let me rephrase this. I too believe that Absol would own a pair of colored Timbs. Take from that what you will.
I
don't know why you surprised she like colored Timbs. She just said she like the New York dudes.
But New Yorkers even be respecting their Timbs. They not out here with the colorful Timbs.
No, they are. Some of them are. I mean,
Jada out here with the
but
wheats.
the traditional New Yorkers probably on the wheat Timbs.
Yeah.
Like those are like the only ones
I
that's
respect
good.
the
But
wheat
like,
Timbs. I don't respect no other Timbs, and I won't wear them, but I respect them. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Nike
We're
Boost
gonna put
person
a
if I
picture
must.
up of the outfit. I liked the outfit.
We're gonna put a
Whatever.
picture up of the outfit, and we're gonna put a picture up of some like color contacts. We're gonna put a picture up of all types of Bama shit, so y'all can see the whole starter kit that Andy is attracted to. And then
if you want to date Andy, buy some color Timbs.
on my Timberland wearing Yobies, right? We gonna put
know
Andy. We
what?
gonna put Andy my IG at the bottom of the screen.
But hey, first
You know
date, if you don't
what?
got a pair of color Timbs, Andy do not want
Stomp
you.
them joints
Okay.
into her DMs. Stomp.
You know what?
Matter of fact, make sure you get her a pair too, so y'all match.
And make sure you keep the little
I
little
love when
chain with the
Tiana
tag
Taylor
on
wears
it.
Tim's too. It's
Tiana Taylor could do no wrong.
so
Tiana
cute.
Taylor is
That's different.
Just
So cute.
Tiana
yeah.
Taylor can do no wrong.
Yes.
Tiana Taylor could wear anything and make it fire.
Yes.
She's an icon. She's a
And
goddess.
she has some examples of how you can wear Tim's in a way that
yeah.
is productive.
And Absol has some less productive examples we're gonna put on the screen. It's all good.
I liked it.
So I'm guessing Endema thinks Timbs are hot. Like just by your.
We go catch Endema in Harlem on the back of a 4-wheeler going down 125th. Oh, with some Timbs on. Do you keep the chain with the thing on it with the little square?
I actually don't own a pair of Tim's.
Oh, so you just capping?
I'm not capping.
You want a pair of Timbs?
Yeah.
We could make this happen.
I mean,
We could pull the money.
listen.
You can get out of one boot and step into another. We could hook it up.
It's getting chilly. It's, you know,
We could hook it up.
the Timbs are starting to squeak out. You know,
I need to see you in Tim's because I feel like for this level of affinity, you have to at least have one pair. Like you need to now.
So now I have to buy a pair of Tim's?
No, we will make sure you have a pair of Tim's.
I just don't know if I'm going to wear it. I like them on certain people.
On guys.
Yeah.
oh, so you like them on guys? Okay,
I feel that.
okay. I understand.
That's right, tight. That
Understandable.
don't jump
Understandable.
I'm
Okay.
not gonna hold you. We all have some things that we may like on the opposite sex. That's like okay.
I'm not saying that I like Tim's specifically, like that's like the holy grail.
Yeah.
I just say I don't mind it.
Okay, I feel it.
I mean, if you like New York dudes, you better not mind it. That's
Yeah.
that's one of their go-to
One of
uniforms.
they about to put that on the flag for New York.
Boy, a nice blue Yankee and some Timbs. Like,
That's
yeah.
really a union.
Shout out all my Brooklyn friends.
That's the
Shout
union.
out all my homies in Brooklyn. And
Yeah,
Queens
shout out all
too,
my
man.
Yobi friends, man. Like I bang with y'all. Respect y'all. Y'all are originators of a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
Me, I'm a big, still.
And I love that you can go up there and get all types of food.
Yeah, that's a fact. Also,
The best shopping in New York.
the best shopping. Fantastic shopping in New York.
No, definitely.
I love New York.
Stay
This
away
not
from
New
Canal
York.
Street.
This is not New York slander. Although I got plenty. This is not it.
Yeah,
but
that's
this is. I don't hot or not Tim's. Me personally, it's a nah. You're not gonna catch me in Tim's. If anything, if it's wintertime and it's frigid, you'll catch me in some Nike boots.
Wait a minute, time out. I'm sorry. You just brought some. I'm not gonna say New York slander to my mind, but I swear Jim Jones said that New York was wearing Nike boots before DC.
Yeah, Jim Jones say a lot of stuff though. You know what I'm saying? And Dima, that's your type. What you how you feel about that? I'm not gonna let no nigga in a oversized Pelly tell me who invented what. We interrupt our regularly scheduled broadcast to report that Andima likes Timbs and I don't. Chuck, what's your take?
I rock with them depending on what you're doing with them.
What are you doing with them personally?
My foot is big and Timbs are heavy, so I'm not trying to walk around with ankle weights. Cause them joints is OC heavy. Like I've had a pair of Timbs before, and I was just like, yo, these like it's not even that comfortable for me to walk in. Like I don't,
especially untied.
Like I don't want to lift weights as I'm walking. Like I'm good. So it's like. So yeah, but nah, I think Timbs look good as long as you're wearing longer pants. I don't like the Timbs and the shorts look. That's a very New York look.
Like what's the dude from Onyx that was on Moesha?
Oh, yes, Sticky Fingers.
Sticky Fingers and Fredo Star.
Yeah, like I understand that's a very New York look. So when New York people do it, I'm like cool, but I would never do that.
Yeah,
I don't think it looks that great personally. So if you're wearing it with longer pants, then I can see we're good. But if it's the shorts, I'm like, So it's like, yeah, it just kind of depends what you're doing it. I'm not that big on the colored Timbs. If it's not really wheat Timbs, if you don't got the leather buckle up top, then it's like, what are we really doing? So outside of that, no. So
Smad Brick B, gotta get you some constructs.
So yeah, that's it. That's all I had. I just wanted to do a little official hot or not since we did the little play.
We did a public service. It was a public service announcement for the Heist.
So thank you. You're far too kind. You made it to the end of the episode. You rock with us. We appreciate you. Yeah, got this in black. The squad here.
That's what y'all do.
You already know what it is. Signing off. We don't have official sign off yet, but we'll see y'all later. You already know what it is. We always here. Here. Okay. You on any block with it. Okay.